for the gentleman whom I introduced you to yesterday, Sergeant Robert Monroy of Grand Ledge. It's better said, where there's a will, there's a fairway. Of course, we saw how he used his newfound passion for the game of golf to help him in his battle with cancer, and I am very honored this morning to have Sergeant Monroy joining us here at the station with his family. Sergeant, thank you so much. Introduce us to these lovely ladies you have with you.
This is my wife, Jeanette, and my daughter, Emily.
Great. It's wonderful to have you guys here. Robert, tell me a little bit about after you got back. You got back from Iraq. You've been serving with the National Guard. The cancer came back. What was your initial reaction?
Well, the cancer, I was actually diagnosed in 2010. They did chemo, radiation, took out the cancer or the esophagus. I was clean for almost 3 years. Then it came back just this past May, and they gave me a diagnosis of 4 to 6 months without treatment and 9 to 12 months with treatment. And I went through chemo for 3 months just to see exactly where it would be, and it didn't go anywhere. It was just about the same, but it didn't progress. Mm-hmm. So I decided I was tired of feeling groggy and crappy with all the chemo. Oh, sure. So I just said, the heck with it. I feel better without the chemo, and I can do a lot more things.
And as we saw, you certainly were, golf being among them. In a little bit, we'll talk about some of the others. And Jeanette, when you realized that there was a timetable here, it wasn't something that got you down. Talk to me a little bit about both his spirits and the fact that you guys have been so positive in the face of this too.
Well, I mean, once he decided to, stop chemo, which was during the time that he learned to play golf, he felt so good during that time, and he was very positive, and he felt great, and he was like, that's it with the chemo. I'm going to live my life. So it's just been basically go, 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 go. It's just, we don't stop, because it just keeps our mind off of it, and we keep going. And even if it's little things like going to the movies, you just keep going.
And we're going to keep going, too, and come back in just a little bit. And, Emily, I'm going to put you on the hot seat because I want you to share some stories about Dad. He's got a great sense of humor, and we're going to talk a little bit about that and your love for football, too. The bucket list being checked off. Thank you guys so much for being here this morning. It's a real treat to have you. When it comes to battling terminal cancer, a lot of people not only can get very depressed, but you can see the effects on their family. That is not the case with this very inspiring man behind me, Sergeant Robert Monroy, a veteran with the National Guard, and his wonderful family, and Jeanette and daughter Emily. We talked a little bit before about your battle and overcoming it, and your amazing sense of humor that really helps. And Emily, I know Dad makes a lot of people laugh. Can you share with me a story?
He sings a lot, and he sings I'm Sexy and I Know It.
Okay, I'm glad we don't have time to see that, Sarge.
That's good.
I'm sure it's YouTube quality good. And Jeanette, how just important is that? And it's a great message to send to other people about how a sense of humor can really get you through the toughest times.
There couldn't be more truth to that. I mean, even as down as he can get sometimes, he makes us laugh. He's the one making us laugh. I mean, with his silly singing or dancing or playing with his dog or just the jokes that he tells. He keeps us going, and he keeps us laughing and keeps our spirits up. So it's amazing, because you couldn't get through it without the sense of humor.
Well, I agree with you wholeheartedly. And speaking of keeping things up, what comes next on the bucket list for you?
Snow tubing.
Snow tubing. Well, the weather will be perfect for that.
Yeah. Right now I'm looking at going up to treetops, which I'm talking to Jason Gus and Kevin McKinley. And
your great friends from the Folds of Honor Foundation who've been supporting you.
Oh, yeah.
And, in fact, we have one more surprise for you, Robert. In fact, can we have our good friend specialist, Jason Fuller, come in right now? Jason, I understand you have other good news for Robert.
Yeah, Robert, I do have one last thing for you. Spoke with Players Choice Golf and the Greg Weber Academy. You have unlimited range balls out at the Dome in Okemos, And you also have, starting in January, lessons every week until the end of the session. So get out there and you can hit the fairways with me this spring, brother. And, you want to do some snow tubing? Well, I'll take you snowmobiling, man. I got one, so.
Thank you for that, surprise specialist Jason Fuller. So look at that. The bucket list can continue. How you feeling?
It's feeling good. That was kind of shocked because it was like I just talked to Jason on the phone. He said he was going to work. So I was like, okay. Then all of a sudden he's here.
That's right. We're just trying to keep the good vibes going. You help so many people, not only fellow veterans, but other viewers of 6 News, change their attitude and their outlook when it comes to cancer, not just cancer, terminal cancer. For that, sir, we congratulate you and we wish you the best. Thanks so much for being a part of this special series. Thank you so much to the wonderful and lovely Monroy family, Sergeant Robert Monroy and Jeanette, his daughter Emily, and of course Specialist Jason Fuller for putting this all together.